What's up, guys and gals? Welcome back to the Nerd Castle. Today in the world of indie games, we're going to be taking a look at a title called The Deepest Chamber. This is the 1.0 release of said game. This game released without much fanfare a couple of years ago in early access. It was basically a Slay the Spire knockoff, and the developers about 9 months ago, I guess, maybe 8 months ago. I'd have to look specifically at the Steam update. They retooled the entire game, and I think for the better, actually. I don't typically enjoy this type of game, but actually I like this game. I think it's a lot of fun. And so we're going to dive on into this little roguelite RPG. We're going to play around with it, we're going to have a good time, and hopefully it'll leave you appraised as to whether or not the 1.0 of Balcony Software's Deepest Chamber is the right game for you. So without further ado, let's dive on in. Link is down below in the description if you wanted to buy the game. On top of that, you can also take a look down there if you wanted to find a link to my Discord and my Twitch stream. Let's head on in. So this is the embarkation point for the game. I've played for about 4.5 hours, I guess, on this current build. So I feel like I'm about ready to sort of like lend you kind of my thoughts, I suppose, about the game and what it does well, what it does poorly. For right now, I just spent my meta progression stuff because this is, after all, roguelite, but Deepest Chamber is a game in which you are a party of adventurers that has been driven underground by a magical apocalypse that has wiped out the city up above the surface. You are trying to dive deeper and deeper down underneath the city to figure out how to stop the magical apocalypse so that humanity can go back up to the surface. The game uses very kind of PlayStation 2 era 2003 FromSoft graphics. I think the game looks great, and honestly, I think it's got a really fantastic hook. On the in-between, you can edit your party. In the final version of the game, there's 6 characters available. In 4.5 hours, I haven't unlocked them. I probably could have gotten her, but everybody else, I haven't won a run yet. And you don't loot that much gold, so I haven't quite gotten there yet. I probably could have gotten her, though, if I had known that it was going. But at the moment, we have a priest, we have a warrior, and we have a wizard. These guys over here, I don't know what they are. I'm guessing that's a druid or like a shaman or something. She's probably like a thief, or he's probably like a thief. And then she looks like she's probably like a necromancer or something. She's got like a little chaos halo right there. But I haven't played as him yet. You also have alchemy. You can use reagents that you gathered up during the course of your adventures and recipes that you find while fighting the enemy to brew up things that will make you stronger. They work the exact same way as Slay the Spire. Drink a potion, something good happens. Let's go ahead and embark. The game does have streaks, in case you were wondering. So the game does it has like lots and lots of difficulties, basically. If you beat the game, it upgrades the difficulty, and then you go again. At the beginning, we have to pick a trinket. So dried chicken feet. The first 3 times a card gets boosted, spread 5 corruption. It's okay. It's not great, but it's okay. Corruption allows us to deal more damage based on stacks. We got a brooch. The first time slash is used, it puts vulnerable on the enemy for 1 turn. That's kind of trash. It's a pretty terrible trinket. I don't think I would ever take it. We've got the dead wing. Whenever a character gets a buff, add a scorch card to your hand. That we can build around. So that's what we're going to do. This is one of the 100% necessary items you need to do like an effective Scorch build on Zhu. Over here, we kind of want to angle for elite combats if we can to unlock characters, because I am interested in unlocking characters. I would say combat, shrine, event, elite is probably the path that I would take right here. So let's go combat. The game uses a standard FTL-style wireframe grid to tell you about like locations and things that can happen. There are different events. You've seen it all here before. It's pretty derivative. Nothing special there. I personally think it's time for the FTL-style wireframe map to die and for games to start incorporating more unique things. But also, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Like, I get it. So this is combat right here. Every single character has a very small deck. Those decks are mixed together. Then you draw from it. Your characters have RPG mechanics. So if you take a look right here, they level up. When they level up, they unlock new cards, new equipment, new trinkets, new things that can come up during their runs. And then on top of that, you unlock gear. So it's random. As you're doing fights, sometimes it gives you a free piece of gear. And then you can also equip your guys, and these do different things, from allowing you to drain health, to allowing you to get more card draw, to allowing you to generate energy at will, that kind of stuff, as the abilities get more and more powerful. So how do the mechanics of this game work? On the base liminal level, exactly like Slay the Spire. If you've already played Slay the Spire, there is nothing special at the basic gameplay level that's going to surprise you. You have 3 energy, Your cards cost energy. You play them on enemies. The enemy takes damage, and the goal is for you to mitigate while destroying them and then survive to the next fight. However, this was one of the main points of the overhaul that they did. They came up with the boost system. Now, no doubt if you've been paying attention, you've noticed that when I play cards, the ones adjacent to them, these little gems light up. Now, this is what they came up with to make their game stand on its own 2 feet. And in fact, I think it works very, very well because it adds an element of card building as well on top of the deck building. So every single card has pips. You play a card, everything adjacent to it fills in a pip. The pips have different effects. You can see them on the right side of the screen. So this card, for example, this card right here, the first time it gets a pip, it gets +2 damage. The second time it gets a pip, it summons a Scorch, which is a free 3 damage attack. I can also get things from shrines and from like enchantments basically that will add even more stuff so that you can get multiple effects each time you boost it, and you can get even more boost effects and allow you to boost things up to like 3 times, I think. And so there's a lot of customization here to go that works exceptionally well, in my opinion. It's a game that's enjoyable to play, and I don't particularly like card games. I think the other thing that helps this game stand on its own 2 feet is that they picked a very, very stark, they picked a really good art style. So a lot of card games, they just have like really, really lazy utilitarian art to them, where it's just like cards bumping into each other, and then maybe some very light particle effects or something. I like the fact that they modeled the enemies in this game. I like the fact that the game has an art style. It sticks to that early FromSoft Kingsfield art style the entire game. It's all unified, and it looks very, very nice. And so, I dig it. We get to pick our first card after every single fight, or we can skip it. I'm going to take Calculated. That's an ability for Dorn. It deals 8 damage, but it allows me to boost it. So it boosts the cards on both sides of it, and then on top of that, I get to fully boost another card, and that's just really, really good combo-wise. And so I tend to take Calculated whenever it comes up. The shrine right here is the card building that I was going to tell you about. It allows you to add new things to your cards. So, like, for example, I can have a card be innate. That means it's always in my starting hand. Or I can add another boost level to a card, which makes it free or, like, lose an energy cost. My thinking there would probably be that we take... Let's take a Fireball and do it, I guess. We're kind of like early on in the game, so like what we choose to infuse right there hasn't been a big deal. An albino tiger is staring at something in the water. It notices the party and slowly backs into the shadows. A small metal object sparkles at the bottom of the canal. A hero lays down and reaches for it. So this is we can add things to boost levels. We're going to want to like summon, I mean, all 3 of these are really, really good and play into the fundamental builds that you can do with each character. Each character in this game seems to have 2 to 3 builds that the game wants you to aim for. And then there's like synergies that exist in between those builds, in between the characters. And with 6 characters, you know, there's not quite as much diversity as you're going to get out of a game like Slay the Spire. But Slay the Spire, you only have 1 character, which is why each character has so many builds. And so this one, you have 3 characters to a party, each drawing in different ways. So I think it kind of like evens out. Now let's go ahead and we will add Summon a Scorch to one of these bad boys. There you go. That Fireball is going to be summoning mad Scorches. I don't know if this is a good idea to go after this combat right here. It may or may not be. I'll probably upgrade. Every time you go to a combat or an elite, you get to upgrade cards and add to their boost levels. So we'll upgrade the Smite. And then we'll probably upgrade a Slash, too, so that we're generating rage, and we're starting to go, I've never seen this one before. Damn, 4 hours of gameplay, and they're still giving me elites that I've never seen before. I legitimately don't know what this guy does. So this could be, like, really, really bad, or this could be really, really fine. Kind of hard to say. Let's go ahead and run Holy Shield on... My priest is about to get doinked super hard. Like, my priest is about to get absolutely schlapped. So we probably want to get some goodies on him, and then we'll throw some damage out that way with all the Scorches. I think it's going to be a little bit of a DPS contest is what it feels like to me. Let's end it. He's going to take 6 damage, which kind of sucks. You can't taunt in this game, too. That's another further mechanic that the game has. You can click on any character and drag to an enemy, and he'll taunt that enemy, and they have to attack you. Follow orders. When fully boosted, the fallen knights will attack one another. Oh, that's easy. Yeah, boost. Where is it? There it is. There you go. And that's the magic of that card right there. Calculated Strike. One of my favorite cards on that character, in all honesty. It just has so many useful things. We'll just keep throwing attacks out right there. And they're going to attack each other. So that buys me a little bit of a breather right here. Good. And I'm really, really happy to see that they go out of their way in this game to make the boost mechanic do stuff that's in theme with the game, I guess is the way that I would put it. So, like, it's very, very possible that they could have made a bad game right here by having the boost mechanic and then just kind of, like, never using it. Man, calculated strike winning this fight for me. There we go. Throw a fireball out there. Is he going to attack himself? He'll probably just smack his corpse. You can hit corpses in this game, too. Probably just throw up a block. Just keep things a-boosting. Man, he smacked his corpse one more time and disintegrated him. That's what you get, you turd Ferguson. All right, let's go calculated strike over here. I'm going to boost a fireball. And then we're going to run that guy right there, run that guy right there, run that guy, and then run that guy. And then all the guys have been run, and we have won the fight. That fight went well. I feel confident about that fight. Unholy Deeds, when the target gains a debuff, it suffers 2 damage. Sentient Blade, deal 3 damage to all enemies. That's once again kind of like an I guess. I don't really like any of those. I'm going to skip them. I'm not a fan. I think these cards suck. I don't want them. We can get the Ceramic Mask. The first 10 times a hero gains armor, the enemy takes 2 damage. First 10 times a hero gains that. Corruption goes. I want that. Give me the, yeah. Let's put 30 corruption on an enemy. That's 30% more damage. That's like no joke. Every card in your hand gets fully boosted. That's pretty disgusting. We've got a Plague Mask, which leads me into an issue with the game. There's no way to dispose of items that you already have copies of, by the way. So, you know. It's one of those things. Oh, she can't wear leather, can she? Do I want hand size? I don't know. I'll just hold on to it for right now, I guess. There's also other items you can have on you that seem to have, like, interactions down in the dungeon on your run. I haven't had too many of them come up, but I have a few things in my inventory that's like, this cryptic coin can be given to so-and-so. I'm like, okay. Don't really have any money. Don't really want the rest. Probably go for the event over here. The albino tiger again. I'll probably add summon another Scorch to one of the final boost levels. Seems okay to me. I don't know if we'll ever get to play it, but like, sounds like a plan to me. All of a sudden, an eerie calmness is here. That's right. Let's upgrade a card. We can get a energy reduction. We can make it slick, which means I can slide it around in my hand so I can activate it where I want in order to get boost. You can make it innate, which means we start with it in our hand. You know, probably go with the -1. That's an extra boost level, though. I don't know if I want that. Slick, on the other hand, I could put on Smite. I play Smite pretty much every time it comes up, so that'd be nice. Now let's upgrade Mana Shield, I guess. We'll probably upgrade one of our defends as well. The cool thing about this game is that in most games, you're trying to figure out how you can eliminate as many attacks and defenses as humanly possible. This game, not the case. There's no method in this game to remove cards from your deck once they're in there. And so, they've gone out of their way to make it so the cards are customizable enough that they become useful and they maturate kind of like into the late game, I suppose, in a reasonable way if you like focus on boosting them up. 27% more damage on her already. If she gets a cleanse, dude, like, it's going to suck, but I'm hoping she doesn't get a cleanse. Let's go ahead and attack right here, and we're going to boost up that fireball right there, which is going to give us a ton of scorches. We're going to hit her with a no, we're not. We're going to take a smite back over this way. We're going to do that. I think I'll play the 10 damage fireball. Play a couple gnarly scorches over there. Add some rage to my warrior, maybe. Yeah, that sounds good. A little bit of damage out. She's going to call for help on the next turn, and we're going to have to deal with some ads. That's just the way it is. And so we'll just figure it out as we go. Let's go ahead and smite over there. I need to upgrade that fireball, dude. That fireball is like a hard carry right now. It is not a very good fireball. I've got my slash over here. These guys are healers, so we're going to want to eliminate them pretty quickly. It's going to be a good idea to eliminate them pretty quickly. May have to have a little bit of a blocky turn over here. The good news is we just pulled out like a bunch of scorches and a free fireball to deal like a bunch of damage out here. So we'll go ahead and kill one midwife, which eliminates a lot of damage. And it also dealt damage to her, which I didn't even know that was an effect that could come through. We're not going to concern ourselves too heavily with, like, mitigating all damage. Ugh, does she have that thing on her right now? How come she only took 1 damage right there? Oh, it didn't play the ability again on her, dude. I was hoping it would play it again on her and do the 24 damage, but I guess she didn't have it anymore. All right, fair enough. Let's go ahead and run something right there. A little bit of free armor right there. We take a little bit of a beating, but it's not that big of a deal. We'll go with like a slash right there. We can probably go with like a fireball over there. I would say maybe run a mana shield on anybody that's... I mean, we've lost all of our armor kind of on, like, everybody. So... Oh, I should have played that differently. There we go. It still worked out okay. Everything's going to be fine, and we're going to pull through this intact. Nothing is going to worry us. We are gods of the dungeon. Designed for war. Down goes the enemy. 27 coins right there. We get basically like a character maker ability. So we've got gain 1 point when you put a debuff on somebody. When 2 points are gained, summon a Scorch. Not bad. Gain 3 points when dealing damage. Convert these points into rage whenever a card makes you gain rage. That's also not bad. Gain 4 points when you deal damage. Convert these points into corruption when spreading corruption. He doesn't have any abilities to spread that, so it's down between these two. Probably lean into the Scorch direction. Every time you summon a card into a full hand, deal 10 damage to 3 random enemies. Card rewards have 1 additional card. I'll take the Joker. Potions, an Exhume potion. Don't care about it. Over here, we'll take a bottle. Over here, we'll take our 3 candles. Skip, skip, skip. And now we got to go fight a big old crab down at the bottom of the dungeon. Once again, I'm going to keep on focusing on elites because I want more characters. We'll go ahead and go back to the shrine real fast. Double the last boost level of a card. Oh, man. Oh, man. That fireball is getting awfully top-loaded. I'm going to upgrade a card over here because obviously we don't need heals. That fireball has needed to be upgraded for like a long time, so I'm just going to go ahead and do it. We'll take a fight right here. We will upgrade Holy Shield for a little bit more defense. And we're fighting, God, my enemy. Dude, a mosquito bit me on my hand not 30 minutes ago when I was in the backyard. I've been trying to fix my sprinkler system. Having like a drainage problem. And it's been driving me crazy. And so anyways, 8 and Corrode over here, huh? Okay. Well, he's just going to take damage, and there's not much that I can do about that. It summons 4... Scorches when that's done. That's utterly insane, dude. We gotta really hope we don't get the bosses. So this game does have one gotcha that I'm not a big fan of. So there is a mechanic in this game that you may have seen in other titles, like Slay the Spire, where there are certain bosses that just kind of hard counter the thing that you want to do. That's a thing in this game too. Sometimes it sucks, but sometimes in this game you can have like a run that's going really, really well and then just hit a boss that is like the opposite of whatever it is that you do. And that becomes a frustrating issue when it's been like an hour-and-a-half long run, if I'm being honest to you. We'll put that over there. That fireball is bopping along and gave us like all the scorches in the world. And down goes the enemy. We got a pretty solid spin up going right now. But if we get any of the bosses that punish decks that play a lot of cards, we're in trouble. And then deal 10 damage and draw a block card, eh? It's not bad. Shield tactics, draw a card. Get 6, draw a +1 card. It's alright. I prefer to have energy off the top end, though, instead of draw 1 card. I guess I can take Slam. I've never taken it before. We'll try it out. I will take your sewer goo, sir. If there's something that I'm always excited to scoop into my backpack, it's sewage waste. Very, very exciting stuff. We're going to want to boost him pretty early to get the energy savings. And then for you, let's add another level to you so that you just become free, because you're not really that great of a card to begin with. A turtle. Tortuga. Tortuga Grande. That's a big old Tortuga. We got to boost some stuff up here. So he's going to do 10 damage and put invulnerable on himself. Let's go ahead and smack right there, and then we'll boost up Holy Shield so that she can tonk. I guess I didn't need to boost that. I could have boosted that, then used the Scorches to boost this. Damn, misplay. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? I'll nerf his damage that way, and everything's going to turn out all right. If I can get like 1 corruption card for my priest, we're in a really good spot. That buff right there is a repeat. You're going to see this on a lot of enemies. This means that you cannot harm this enemy until you use a boosted attack on him, a fully boosted attack. So we're going to need to do that. Mark of the Fallen, gain a point when you apply a debuff. That's fine. And play a slam right there to get that up, to break that. Throw that out there. He's going to put vulnerable on him, and then he's going to nuke him on the next turn, I think. So it's going to get a little bit nasty. Oh, no, never mind. Apparently he went after my warrior for some reason. Fair enough. Let's take that. We're going to use it to boost the fireball that's in my hand so that it becomes free and I get like a 500,000 bajillion scorches. We'll put a little bit more corruption on him. Probably put some weak on him, I guess. Oh, yeah, baby. We're starting to spin up now. We're starting to spin up now, my dudes. We're starting to be scary customers out here. All right, hit him with that right there so that I can get the free block on that side. He's going to do 17 damage, which is kind of hot and spicy weenus, but there's not much I can do about it. Anything I can play right here? Not really. Okay. Sometimes, like, one of my favorite potions to have, like, a bunch of copies of is stun potions because it makes them pass their turn. Wow, dude, another 15, huh? Dude, you're kind of being like a, you're kind of being a douche. You're kind of being like a douche LaRouche about this whole thing, man. That actually kind of comes out okay. That actually turned into a turn that I didn't hate. I probably could have got more HP savings. Probably could have got more HP savings in a different way, but whatever. Calculated. We want... Heal is already fully boosted, so we're good there. I'm going to boost you so I can get my Scorches right now and possibly clinch this thing. I have a fully charged Fireball to break his shield. Elite Fight almost done got me, man. It tried. Not for a lack of trying. It tried. We should be able to ace him on the next turn, though, so it came out kind of where we needed it to be. Bye-bye, turtle. You're an adorable animal, but you must die because my lust for rare cards and also armor and more gold so that I can unlock more character classes, unfortunately, is more important than what you've got going on. We get a mass, which would give us flurry, allows you to double cast things. Next buff is doubled. Shield tactics. I mean, I feel like we're still not getting things that are working towards what I want. Each combat, your first heal costs 0. That's not bad. Yeah, I could do that. I mean, it's not that great of a trinket, but we got it off of Elite, so who cares? Like, it allows me to cast my heal on people, and we need lots of healing right now, so hopefully it'll give me a couple opportunities to patch up my cleric before. Oof, another elite fight, huh? I think we're going to have to pass on another elite fight for right now. We're a little bit scuffied. A bunch of ratas, huh? Okay. So the rats are apparently all buffing the boss man. That's what we can take away from this situation. Huh. Dung pile. Deal 10 damage to all enemies. On boost. Well, I gotta play that anyways, so, like, whatever. Heals are free, so let's patch him up. I guess it looks like it moves around every time I play it. However, wow, what a strong opener, dude. We're, like, killing it right now. Wow. Okay. I like that mechanic. That mechanic is very entertaining, in my opinion. We just want to keep juggling this. And so this is one of those cases, you know how I said, like, you lose some fights with a Scorch build just by default? You also win some fights with a Scorch build by default. Mass Weaken. It's not terrible. Every round, spread 10 Corruption and Exhaust. That's pretty good. I'll take that. That could potentially snowball with, like, another Corruption spreading ability. Oof, do I take another Elite? I think I do. I said I wasn't gonna, but I'm gonna. Because I'm a maniac like that. I might be torpedoing my run right now. My priest is a little bit beat up for this. Alright, so he's going to add a curse to my deck. I've got shadow things happening all over the place. We want shadow form to be cheaper so that we're stacking up more things on the enemy. There's a bunch more corruption right there as well. Gonna shield him just kind of as a precaution. Everybody else can soak a hit right now except for him, and so I need as many corruption cards to go up on the enemy as possible. We do want Mark of the Fallen right there. We want a Smite right there because that gives us a free defend that adds even more corruption to the enemy. 5, 5, and 5. We're not taking that much damage. It'll be fine. Heal is free. So let's deal damage right there and get his health back up. Throw a little bit more damage out there. I feel like we have a strong play going right now. He's about to frenzy, which kind of sucks, but we're going to boost the shit out of this fireball right here, and it's going to be okay. We also want to take this guy, and we want to push this slam all the way to the right. That way we can boost it up so that we can deal 18 damage and also draw a block card. And also boost the hell out of the holy card as well, and we'll just throw that on him since he's the weakest. We're now getting a 50% damage bonus at the moment. 60%. He's in full frenzy mode. He cannot be redirected, so we can't taunt him right now, unfortunately. That's just the way it goes, though. We should be good on that block right there. He's at 70% extra damage, which is just fantastic. So we'll go Calculated Strike once again into that fireball play that we've been fooling around with this entire time. We'll throw up some armor on everybody, but I think he's dead here. He feels very dead to me. He is indeed quite incredibly dead. And that right there is how you take down a Gator Louisiana style. All right, with a whole bunch of voodoo magics down in a sewer. That's how it's done. You don't have to like it, but that's the way that it plays. That right there spreads a ton of corruption. Doesn't give you much block, but boy howdy does it spread some corruption around. Corruption plays really, really well with our current build, so I'm going to risk it for the biscuit. Let's see. First 3 times your card gets boosted, you get Scorch cards. Let's go. Build's coming together. There's a lot of Scorch flying around right now. Don't really care about that. I mean, I guess it could be really, really useful. Well, I kind of like what I have. Let's head on over to the boss and see if we can chunk it on out. But I don't really have too many complaints about this game. This is a really good title. I think this is a really fantastic card game, roguelite RPG, whatever you want to consider it. I think it does that well. I don't like games like this. I don't typically play games like this. I just don't find them enjoyable. And yet, here we are. Me showing you the game, and hopefully you liking what you saw here. I should have played the Holy Shield. Damn. Oh well. That's a pretty strong opening damage turn. If I can get anything that converts Scorch damage into, like, increasing the amount of corruption on somebody, dude, it's about to be a mess out here. It's about to be an absolute mess. I don't really have any complaints. I think it's a really, really, really fun game. I think it's super enjoyable. I don't particularly like card games. I don't really play card games. I tend to just kind of be like, meh. And yet, I've been playing this one all morning, and it's now nighttime. I will see you all later. Thank you for hanging out with me. If you enjoyed this game, make sure you check it on out and support the developers. From there, this is my final coverage of it. This one's retired. You shouldn't see this one coming back unless they release like a big, massive, chunky expansion or something later on down the line. This one should not be making another appearance. It's pretty much finished. I'll see y'all tomorrow with something hot, fresh off the indie skillet. But it's time for me to go. Take care, folks.